What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you 2 ways to make vegan kimchi. First, let's start off with the Napa cabbage. Don't confuse it with the round green ones that you use for coleslaw. You're going to want to find a Napa cabbage that feels heavy for its size, and then you're going to want to start peeling away the outer leaves to remove any damaged leaves. If it has small marks or tears, it's okay. Next, you're going to take a sharp knife and cut the cabbage lengthwise and tear the cabbage in half with your hands. It's traditionally done this way so that the tears are more natural, but you can cut the cabbage instead. For the purpose of showing you, I'll make half the cabbage using the quarter method, which is how it's traditionally done. The other half will be cut into bite-sized pieces like gochujang, which is a style of fresh kimchi. Now we're gonna wash and drain the cabbages in cold water to remove any dirt or unwanted stuff in our kimchi. Alright, to the fun part, salting the cabbage. Any coarse salt will do. We're using kosher salt. Take some of the salt and generously mix it into your chopped cabbage and set it aside for 30 minutes. For the quarter cabbage, you're gonna have to salt each layer. Make sure you don't skip any layers though, so that the cabbage can be evenly salted. You can be heavier towards the thick part of the root and lighter towards the thin leaves. The amount of salt depends on the size of your cabbage, but generally a 5-pound cabbage will need about 3/4 to a cup of salt. I'm just going to loosely cover the bowl with plastic wrap and place some weight on top. This will help speed up the salting process, but if you're making a large batch of kimchi, you won't have to weigh it down. Normally we do the salting process in the sink because, well, it's messy, but we wanted to show you guys how it's done. Alright, let's talk gochujang or Korean red chili flakes. Make sure you purchase the coarse flakes, and please, for the love of God, do not use the crushed red pepper. For the rest of the marinade, you're going to need about 20 cloves of garlic, 1/4 of a large apple or half of a small one small yellow onion. You can also substitute the apple for Korean pear or sugar. You're going to roughly chop up and place it into your blender, and same goes for the apple, and you can keep the skin on. Oh, and I forgot to mention that you're also going to need 1 knob of ginger peeled. You can use your knife or a spoon to peel it. You're going to slice it up and add that to your blender along with your garlic. Alright, so once I figure out how this lid goes on, once your marinade cocktail is kind of blended, you're going to add some hot water, salt, and some mushroom powder, which is going to give it extra flavor, and a 1/2 cup of gochujang. You're going to blend it up till it's smooth and transfer it to a bowl large enough so that you can mix your cabbage in it later. Now you're going to take a 1/4 cup of cooked white rice, another 1/2 cup of gochujang, hot water, and blend that till it's smooth, and then you're going to add that to your bowl and mix it all up. You can taste the marinade now to see if you want to add any more seasoning like salt, gochujang, and whatever you want, but remember to account for the saltiness of your cabbage. It's been about 30 minutes now, so we're just going to flip the cabbage over, put the weight back on, and check on it in 30 minutes. And same goes for the chopped cabbage. You can see that it's starting to become a bit more wilted and flexible. Now back to the marinade. To complete it, we're just going to add some julienne, daikon radish, carrots, and green onion. For both the radish and the carrots, we're going to julienne them with a mandolin. You can of course cut them with a knife, but it's so much faster using a mandolin. You're going to cut the radish into a manageable size, then do the same with the carrot. Now for the green onions, you can also substitute this with Asian chives that are commonly used in making kimchi. You're just going to want to cut them up into 1-inch pieces and add that to your marinade. Now this is the mandolin, aka the finger slayer. Just kidding, but please be careful, the blade is really sharp. You're going to slice your radish and carrots on the mandolin, and to be safe, use the guard provided, or you can wear those chainmail glove things. I've seen a lot of people in restaurants cut themselves on mandolins, even me, because I just wanted to. Anyways, you get the idea, just be careful. Once that's all cut up, you can flex your knife skills and cut the leftover carrots and radish and add that to your bowl. Now struggle and rip a few pair of gloves because your hand is too wet to put them on. Mix the marinade with the veggies and make sure they're evenly coated. It's been about another 30 minutes, so our cabbage is done salting by now. To see if it's salted enough, you can take a piece of cabbage and rinse it a couple times in cold water. It should taste fresh, sweet, and well seasoned. If your cabbage isn't salted enough, you can turn the cabbage again and let it sit for another 10 to 30 minutes. You're going to rinse your cabbage in a big bowl of clean, cold water. You're going to drain and firmly squeeze the cabbage to remove the excess water. You're going to want to do this a couple of times and changing the water with fresh water in between. Now to finish the kimchi. For the quarter cabbage, you're going to slather the marinade in between each leaf, and you want to make sure that each leaf is well coated. Once the quarter cabbage is coated in marinade, you're going to fold the cabbage along its natural curve, and this will keep the cabbage compact and it will just look nice. For the chopped cabbage, you're gonna add that straight into your marinade and mix that up till it's evenly coated. This method is faster, but keep in mind that because there is more surface area, it'll ferment faster. The traditional quarter cabbage method is more long-term fermentation friendly, so large batches can be made to last months. To store your kimchi, you can use any airtight containers that you don't mind being permanently stained with red and smelling of kimchi, or you can use mason jars. Then there's this big boy. It's a common kimchi container used in a lot of Korean households. It's just a large airtight container honestly, and we're using it to store our rice in right now. And that's it. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe so that we know that we're making content that you like. Also, comment down below for what you would like to see next.